What's up, everybody? We finally got our first teaser trailer for Thor: Love and Thunder, the fourth Thor movie. That would be a bit of a tongue twister, but I absolutely aced it. Go me. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about the little taster we've had for what this film has to offer through this little teaser. So first things first, I have been slightly concerned about how a fourth Thor film would necessarily justify itself. I mean, put it this way, I've kind of had concerns about that for almost the entirety of the MCU post-Endgame. But particularly with like those legacy characters that have been with us since Phase 1, how are they going to justify moving forward with them after their stories have effectively climaxed? Funny word. Not only that, but going forward, they are definitely taking more inspiration from the all-new, all-different era of Marvel, which has been quite a polarizing one. However, I will say it does definitely feel more justified in the MCU, as a lot of these characters' stories have met their natural end, so now it does feel like a good time to meet their successors. But the reason I've been worried about this one in particular is because it would introduce the Jane Foster version of Thor. Now, I'm gonna be real, I don't really read Thor comics, and I don't really know anything about the Jane Foster version of Thor. I know that there was cancer involved. That's what I know about it. And I know that during that period, Thor was very much kind of deemed unworthy, so Jane Foster kind of took his place. That's all I know. And if I've got anything wrong there, let me know, but don't be obnoxious about it. Find some other way to get your kicks. But the reason that I, for one, have been apprehensive about Jane Foster becoming Thor is because Jane Foster in the MCU so far has been, well, a fairly bland character in my opinion. She's fine. She's inoffensive. That's all I have to say about her. And it kind of feels strange to me that Thor Ragnarok split Jane and Thor up rather unceremoniously, only for her to be now reintroduced in such a big way. So like, yeah, there is concern there. But let's put all that aside for now and talk about this first teaser trailer. So it begins with this little montage of Thor growing up, running through the woods, transitioning from childhood through to the classic comic book Thor costume, which is in keeping with the trend of Phase 4 bringing in the classic comic book costumes, even if just for like one-off moments or scenes. Then it transitions into his Avengers 1 look, and then finally to his current look, which I gotta say looks really good. It's a nice dignified look for Thor with the fur over the shoulders. And we've got Thor narrating, and this very much appears to be a story of Thor healing after the events of the Infinity War. He's now effectively retired. He's no longer going to use his hands for battle, he's going to use them for peace. We see that he's working out using chains attached to this giant creature, getting back into shape, and I gotta say, I think that this is a great story for today. Like, you know, we're living in a, well, we're still kind of in COVID-19, but we're living in a time where we're kind of coming back to normality, for better or for worse, and a lot of people are just healing from this now. You know, a lot of things have changed in our lives, and I think that Thor Love and Thunder, everybody. Being a story about healing, being a story about making peace with oneself and making peace with what is here and now is the ideal story for the here and now in the real world. There's also a fun little Easter egg with Thor wearing his baseball cap, which says like Mightiest Avenger on it, but it's in the font of the old Avengers comics by Jack Kirby. Just a fun little detail, and we see that he's kind of, you know, become a part of the Guardians of the Galaxy, but he wants to blaze his own trail now. He views them as his friends, maybe even his family. We'll see how far that goes in the film. And Star-Lord is kind of giving him the advice to, you know, if he ever feels like he's alone, just, you know, think about the ones he loves. Look into the eyes of the ones he loves. And we see him looking into Star-Lord's eyes, and Star-Lord getting very uncomfortable. And it's that usual sort of dude no sort of Chris Pratt shtick that I think got old like very shortly after the end of Parks and Recreation. But hey, I'm sure that once my tush is in my theater seat, I'll be much more willing to go with it. I don't know. But we're getting lots of shots of Thor on all different kinds of adventures in different alien worlds. There's a pirate moment where he's kissing a girl pirate or something. It looks like he said goodbye to the Guardians of the Galaxy at one point, and now he's with his buddy Korg, who we all love Korg. In typical Taika Waititi fashion, like, the visuals are very larger than life, very comic booky, and I really love the way everything here looks. There's some really nice cinematography, and yes, obviously there's a lot of CGI in there. That's a staple of what this kind of movie is, and it looks fantastic. We're seeing new Asgard taking shape as well, some nice golden, very Asgardian looking structures there. And it looks like it's going to be this really exciting, otherworldly adventure film with a retired superhero, and that I'm game for. We know there's going to be a villain in this, which is Gorr the God Butcher, played by Christian Bale, but I always kind of don't want there to be. I'd actually really love it if just the whole film was just Thor on this journey of self-discovery. This journey of making peace with himself, starting his new life in New Asgard, traveling the universe with his Space Guardian Galaxy friends. It's a heck of a way to break the mold, and I really love that idea. So I'm always kind of like, do I want to see Gorr the God Butcher? I can't speak today, can I? Do I want to see Jane Foster Thor? Well, like it or not, this trailer certainly shows us Jane Foster's Thor, and Natalie Portman looks really good in the costume. She definitely resembles the comic book counterpart, but she's also bulked up quite a bit, which is... Okay, look, I'm not saying it's surprising for, like, you know, women to bulk up or anything, like, you know, but, like, Natalie Portman's quite, you know, a small-framed woman, quite petite, so it is surprising to see just how much she's managed to bulk up. That's quite a transformation. You never know quite how yoked they're going to go for these roles, you know? But she's looking pretty yoked. Another thing I was pretty concerned about was one of Thor's new outfits that was revealed quite a while before this trailer, which is like a blue and yellow outfit with this new helmet, and when I first saw like the reveal artwork, I thought it looked pretty hideous. However, we do get a look at it in this trailer, and it looks a lot less garish, it looks a lot nicer, but we also see it among a plethora of other brand new costumes for Thor that we've never seen before, and it all looks like it's shaping up rather well. I must admit that this has put a lot of my concerns for this film, not that there were really many major concerns, but it has put that to bed, I must say. We also get our first look at Russell Crowe as Zeus here as well, in his very golden look, and yeah, we don't really see much of him, but he certainly looks very shiny. And Discussing Film even pointed out on Twitter that one of the shots in here, which is like the big dead dinosaur thing, is pulled straight from the comics, which is pretty cool. So on a whole, gotta say, I really like what I'm seeing here. I really like the look of this trailer. It looks like it's going to be like a very good breather from the big drama of like the multiverse saga that the MCU has been following lately. It looks like it's going to be a nice breather from like a very post-Endgame world as well. Something happier, something, well, very hearty, you know? But with that said, there's a whole other layer to this film which is not shown in this trailer, and that is the main villain, Gorr the God Butcher, so we'll see how he factors in. I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of Jane Foster's Thor in this film than this initial tease would go on to show. Much like how the first trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home just had that tiny little glimpse of Dr. Octopus at the end of it, you know? But he was like a major player in the actual film. I think, you know, the same applies to this. I mean, I think that's common knowledge at this point, but I just felt the need to point out that I have an understanding of that because I need the validation. Also, when the fuck is Groot gonna grow up again? No, we're seeing more of like teen Groot, or should we say adolescent Groot at this point. It's like, I want adult Groot back. I miss adult Groot. Come on. But yeah, for now, what they've shown, I really like it. And I'm hoping that this will be most of the film. But knowing MCU teaser trailers, it's not always the case. But I think this has put some of my concerns about how a fourth Thor movie would justify itself. Boom, did it again, nailed it. Not to mention also that this trailer does feature Guns N' Roses' Sweet Child of Mine, which is one of my favorite songs like ever. So 10 out of 10. So okay, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, what else do you want from me now? What more should I say? Get out. So what do you guys think? If you enjoyed this video and you want to support more like it, be sure to hit that big, beautiful subscribe button. And of course, in the description below are links to different social media feeds, including the Patreon. If you're feeling extra generous, like the following people, who are JK Strife, Marcus Ward, Sirius the Skeptic, Biotin Arts, Mr. SP, David 20 Covers, Sergio, John Comey, Shodin, George is Lost, Legendary Ray Ray, Cheesemaster769, Adam Myers, and Fayalan Schwarzentraub. Thank you guys, you are the best of the best, but as for the rest of you, thank you so much for watching, guys,
and have a great day.
Look,